On October 20th, 1967, me and Roger were riding up the creek in Bluff Creek, and we looked to past the root ball to our left, and up stood this creature. Now, you all know the story from here, but this is the confession. So, when I chased this creature up the bowling alley just after the sandbar there, she kind of put her two hands on this log and started to bend over and shake her rear end there profusely, and I saw those Bigfoot cheeks clap. And I looked back, and Roger, he was doing some relaxed dance, and he said, "Now everybody in the club getting tipsy." I'm not sure what that meant. And, well, all I thought was, they really are real. They really do exist. So that's the confession, and Russell Accord can suck my...
Just gotta talk a lot. Gotta be loud. Stand still in front of the camera.
Even when you whisper into the microphone, people can hear you. Welcome, everybody, to the Squatchers Lounge podcast. That's right. It is time for wintertime allergies, and we've all got them, so just kind of deal with it. As everybody knows, tonight we're going to get the Sierra Site summertime update with my buddy here, Justin Smeja. How you doing there, Justin? Glad you could join us tonight, sir.
Good to be here.
Back from a recent trip up to the Sierra Site, and it was a definite interesting trip, that is for sure. But we wanted to start out tonight. Why don't you bring your buddy in there now?
Smeja, he's saying, "Come on over here. This will be fun."
See, there he is.
There.
See,
there you go.
He's
cool.
He's our little squatcher in waiting, squatcher in training, whatever you want to call him. I'm pretty sure he believes in Bigfoot by now, but he's quite the outdoorsman himself, wouldn't you say? Do you like going out? Do you like going outdoors and hunting? Yeah. Well, this is a podcast, buddy. You have to actually talk. People need to hear your voice. Say yes.
Yes.
There you go. See, all right, you can talk.
So you Reverend Jeff or Uncle Jeff? He's probably confused.
Well, you know, it's so hard. I've known the kid since he came out the chute. You know, I think I held him about day 17.
This is
Yeah,
that's
Reverend
right.
Jeff. So, say something to Reverend Jeff. Say something to everybody out there.
So, what?
Hello.
What kind of animal did you get with the shotgun this year?
Goose.
No, well, you got the geese. Tell them.
Geese.
How many geese did you get this year?
5.
You really got 5 geese? Wow, man! I ain't getting no geese this year. I didn't even get a chance to go goose hunting. You are so lucky. You're gonna get you a deer next year, aren't you?
Yes.
That's the idea of it. That's right. We teach them young. That's right. You want to know them. You want to make sure that your children are safe around guns. You start them before this age.
We want to tell them about what we're doing next on that summer 2022.
Yeah, what's going to happen next year?
In summer 2022, my dad's taking me to this kill site.
To the kill site?
Yep.
Yep. Should be a lot of fun, buddy. Gonna be a squatcher. Gonna go up there. Gonna bring your rifle, right?
Yep.
What kind of rifle you got?
Tika 223.
Yeah, a little small for Bigfoots, but if we get them in the head, it might work, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna try to shoot one. That's bold.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm in good enough shape to be able to go up there with you next year. That's for sure. But thanks for joining us tonight, buddy. Glad you could tell us. We'll see you next time, another time.
Good job, buddy. Love you.
Now, there you go. The littlest squatcher that we have. What's Easton turning this year?
He's going to be 8 years old. He's in a private school. I'm proud to be able to give him that. And maybe they get a little more attention than the regular schools around here. He's doing good. He shot a turkey, got a couple of ducks and geese and different things. He's a straight A student. He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been a good kid too, and that's it all starts at home. I guess we're going to start off tonight with the update. I guess we're going to have to kind of remind people of where we left off. Investigations up at the kill site. We kind of personally we kind of let chill for a few years because it had really gotten so overworked. One summer there was I swear there was 150 people in that site over one summer. It seemed that at least 10 different trips
that
with
we know
15
of.
different people. Yeah, that we know of. That was just people.
We're not always there. Yeah,
right. Exactly. I mean, we're rarely there, and there was still 100 to 150 people there in that one summer, and it got so overworked. And then, why don't you tell the folks about the visit to Fish and Game, which is what kind of started the leaving it alone for a while.
So about 4 years ago, it started when we were Bigfooting, we were doing our thing, we were deep into it. One day, 6:30 at night on a Friday, get a bang on the door. It's the police. Open up. And I opened the door and they put me in handcuffs, and there was approximately 40 law enforcement officers from the
40.
Bureau of Land Management. I don't know what they were doing.
40. Like you're El Chapo or something, right? 40? Like
there
40?
was people from the Bureau of Land Management, from the Citrus Heights Police Department, from the Sheriff's Department, from the Fish and Game mostly. I think they had 17 officers there.
Wow.
And they had the federal wardens too. So they had federal Fish and Wildlife. I think they're called. They're a little different than Fish and Game. So they have all these people. They got their big, automatic guns. They're putting them on my face. They handcuffed me to my ankles, which is like a new thing. I don't know. So
they wanted to make sure you wasn't running nowhere, big boy.
Yeah.
Where are you going? You're going nowhere.
The whole time they're like, all right, so let's talk about this thing. Like, why are you saying retarded shit? Why are you doing this? Like, we're going to search your freezer. We're going to search this. They go into my freezer. They take all kinds of meat out, which I have labeled like antelope or deer or pig. They wanted to get like a sample of this, that, and the other thing. They took my computer, my cell phone, every electronic device, my rifle, my shotgun.
Kids' tablets.
The kids' tablets. Lots of stuff that just had nothing to do with anything. They take it all and they have it on a charge that they say that I poached a bear, which is funny because, like, why would I need to poach a bear when you could just shoot it legally? We have tons of bears. Like, everything's fine. I had a bear tag. There was nothing illegal about it. They were just like looking for something. So they spent 5 hours raiding my house.
They tried to charge you with baiting that bear with dog food, even though there wasn't any dog food in the stomach, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I had dog food in my truck because I have a dog.
Right.
Just,
right. And your dog goes everywhere with you pretty much, except for bear hunting because California stopped that. Dumbasses.
Well, we're talking about like 2 Ziploc bags, like sandwich bags full of dog food.
You're not out there.
A suspicion of poaching, suspicion of this and that, and it was just like, okay, cool. So the whole time they're talking a little bit about this hunting thing where they suspect that I could have perhaps poached something, which I didn't. Like, it's easier to tag it. It's easier to do it right. It's not a big deal. And so they're talking about this, and every other question is like, let's talk about this Bigfoot thing. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the kill site. Let's talk about that. And I don't know if I don't know. So in the end, they steal all this stuff from me. Thousands of lifetime supply of this and that, just everything from deer horns to whatever. Then they put me in handcuffs. They take me away with a charade of cars. So they drive like 20 cars deep. Then they drive over to my dad's house. Now, I haven't lived with my dad in 20 years or something. Right. it had nothing to do with anything. They just noticed that I happen to talk to him now and then on the phone. So they go and they raid his house. They didn't even have a warrant for that. But keep in mind, so this is how crazy some of it got. So when they did come to my house to do all this, they had every text message I had ever sent. It seemed like they had all these GPS marks on my truck showing where I'd been, my cell phone where I'd been. Like they had been working on this thing for weeks, trying to come up with something. It seemed like a lot of effort. So they drive from there. Now it's midnight. They show up at my dad's house, which again, he just has nothing to do with anything. So they raid his house. There's nothing to see. Keep in mind, like, there's no drugs. There's no bad stuff going on. There's no, like, it's a normal family. So they go in there, they raid his stuff, take random things of his that, again, have nothing to do with anything. Just being very intimidating, yelling, screaming at people, causing chaos. So now it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Then they drive me 3 hours away and put me in jail. I was put into solitary confinement, where I didn't talk to anybody, didn't have a phone call, didn't have anything like that. That is a matter of fact. Stayed there for a while. Eventually, so they said they wanted me to, like, bail out or something. I was like, I didn't do anything. I'm not bailing out. I'm not spending a dime. I'm not doing nothing. They say, well,
Right.
for Friday, cool. Well,
everybody was told, like, leave you there. Like, you weren't calling people for bail. You weren't calling bail bondsmen.
Well, I didn't do anything wrong.
Right. Like, you just wanted to get the hell out of jail, and, you know.
Well, they were telling me, they're like, you have to call and post your bail. We'll let you call tomorrow or the next day. I was like, I'm not going to post any bail. I'm not going to do anything. I will wait to talk to a judge. So I'm there for a couple days. Then eventually one of my family members heard, which I told everybody. I said, don't get me out. Don't do it. Like, I will talk to the judge, which now I'm missing work and doing whatever. So eventually one of my family members hears about it, and they were like, that's bullshit. Justin's getting out. So they bailed me out against my wishes, I guess. But I was thankful at the time. I was like, cool, let's go home.
Right. Because 36 hours in jail with a bunch of friggin' dopers and friggin' wife beaters is long enough.
Yeah. So I go home. Then they have these charges, but these charges aren't anything that really happened. In the end, I went to court 5 different times. And these are all day events, sometimes hours, whatever. I ended up spending $15,000, which is, I'm not a rich man. There was a significant amount of money. So I spent $15,000, and they said, you know what, if you just, like, quit talking about this won't happen again. And that was all said out loud. It wasn't even like a secret. And I was like, all right, so this is 2017. So I lost my desire briefly to go Sasquatching or to be in the woods with a gun or anything like that. I did not get a felony. I didn't get charged with whatever. I pleaded to a misdemeanor of, I don't even remember, not filling out a tag properly, I think, which I did have a tag. So I pleaded to something, which is a small whatever, like getting a traffic fine. Had 1 year of probation where I wasn't supposed to be around hunting or guns, which was whatever. That passed. It's not even on my record anymore.
You actually did. I remember that year. I mean, you didn't go hunting. We went fishing. We did a lot of fishing that year, but you absolutely stayed away from any hunting. You didn't have any guns around. You obeyed what the judge wanted you to do. You paid your quote unquote debt to society, you know, and that should have been the end of it.
Yes. And it was more or less. And then, you know, about a year later, I'm flying down the river in my boat. Then the fishing game sees me and they're like, there he is. Let's get him. And so they pull me over. They give me the 10th degree. They talk about, hey, do you remember when I arrested you at your house?
It's like, you're now a known person.
Well, before I was, I was
before you were known because you were
on Fish and Game's radar.
Right.
But the thing of it is I've always respected Fish and Game. I've always done all the things.
You come from a family who spends $10,000 between you guys a year on tags.
Well, I'm a huge supporter
Exactly.
supporter of
We're
law
all
enforcement.
we're the environmentalists. We're the
Exactly.
we're the conservationists. Without our
Exactly.
money, the conservation doesn't happen. Like I buy a fishing permit. Why? I go fishing 4 times a year, maybe, but
Right.
I could buy daily passes, but I don't. I buy a year pass because I want to contribute into the conservation and what they should be using it for. But unfortunately, well, we all know that doesn't really happen.
Right. But as a general statement, I do have huge respect for law enforcement. I have a completely clean record. I've never, I guess, besides this, been arrested or anything like that. Never even gotten a DUI. Just nothing. I have a huge respect for law enforcement, and I have family, siblings, brothers that aren't. But I don't like. Anyway, so a couple guys got a hard on for me because of different things that had happened in the past. With like we had a big group up there at the kill site, and Fish and Game showed up, and they're freaking looking for Megan Fox, I guess, because I tweeted, "I'll see you guys in Megan Fox." Long story, it was different things.
Megan Fox made an article that she was into Bigfooting, and it was a big inside joke that during
I was on the show.
right.
And then I jokingly said to my friends on Facebook, it wasn't a public announcement, that hey, you guys are missing the Bigfoot weekend. I'll see you guys up there. Everybody that's attending, I got to go pick up Megan Fox from the airport. Everybody that knew me knew it was a dumb joke.
Right.
So then what happened is all these law enforcement officers show up there to check out what's going on. They're all looking to say hi to Megan Fox, and they misunderstood. I was like, you guys are watching me too closely. You're thinking too highly of me. Like, it's not like that, guys. So I guess I ruffled some feathers with the wrong guys, and the Fish and Game just really misunderstood it, and they got a hard on for me, and that they did. So I lost interest when all this happened. My business was raided as well. I had a business that was relatively successful. I had about $50,000 worth of different things at the bank and materials, and they came and they took every bit of it. And it wasn't a coincidence. It was because I was like on these people's radar or whatever or something. Not that I'm anything special, but none of this would have happened to my business. So anyways, after all these things happening, then I was just like, this isn't quite, I'm just going to take a year or two off of Bigfooting. And then that turned into 3 years. And then that brings us up to a couple months ago, last month. That brings us up to roughly, I'm like sitting there trying to do it quietly, trying not to be online, trying not to talk to anybody about it, because it just wasn't worth the hassle that my family was being put through. The fun only, like, it outweighs whatever. I didn't want to be a martyr for Sasquatch. So that brings us up to current.
So you're finally feeling like you're ready to go and visit the Bigfoot areas again. Now this summer, there was a whole lot of fires going on in the Truckee area and the Bigfooting area that we go into. I mean, basically the mountains were on fire there. The smoke was all thick. You couldn't get in there. You shouldn't have been in there. They closed all the national forest until the rains hit again. So you decide after the rains that you want to take a trip. And
exactly that. So some people might have a hard time imagining it, or maybe they see it on the news all the time. California's always on fire lately. So the forest was basically closed in many senses throughout the summer, whatever, till the rain comes. And so I wait till the rain comes. The rain hits hard. Finally, we're still in a drought. We've been in a drought for about 10 years, but rain hits hard. Fire danger's gone. The forest is opened back up. So I decided to head up there quietly. I might have texted my brother, my friend, my cousin, just let them know where I was going to be, because I was going to be up there for a couple of days in a spot that only they would know where to find me if something did happen. And so I leave with 2 of my brothers. And one of them, this comes up later, but one of them is disabled, and he's a little bit slow. He not only can't hear, but he can't see very well, and he has some mental things. Whatever. He's one of my best friends, my brother. So
your brother's one of the coolest people on the planet, man. I've known your brother since he was just a little guy.
Exactly. So I head up there with 2 of my brothers with the intention of going to the kill site. Bear season's open. We're excited about that. And we're going to go up there and we're just going to hunt some bears, maybe some grouse. and just have a
Everybody's
good
got
weekend up there.
licenses. Everybody's got tags.
Everybody,
Everybody's
yeah.
got their IDs. Everybody's legal.
Yeah.
It's bear season. You're in bear area. It's open to hunt bear there.
Yeah.
You know,
But also, it's like this is an area where not a lot of people go. It's not like I'm going into some popular hunting area. I'm going to an area where
you're
you're
in a very
surprised
high
to see
alpine
anybody.
area, right? I mean,
Yeah, you're surprised. So I might have told 4 or 5 people. Didn't even, I don't think, mention to you. Like it was just a real quiet thing. Decided to go up there for a week.
I gotta. Hey, I'm going to the site in the morning. I'll see you when I get back, and I'll be back on this
I'll
day.
let you know how it goes.
It was just a matter of me knowing where you were in case you didn't come back. Then I would know to go and get people and take people there.
Exactly. So we head up there, and it was just this last minute thing. I was going to be up there for 3 or 4 days. To me, I was there to see what, if any, evidence of any Bigfoot or activity, or see how the animals were. I just miss seeing the trees. I miss seeing everything up there. Couldn't wait to get up there. I miss the coast. It's such a special place for people that don't know. I mean, it's beautiful, lush and green. You see birds that look like...
campsite that we use there is, we were talking about this pre-show. The campsite that's there has actually been on maps for over 100 years. I mean, it's the old ranchers, the old hunters. They all use this thing for years and years, and then nobody used it like forever. I mean, when I first saw the place, you could see that the random car would come in there, maybe harvest some firewood or maybe on a bear hunt, but I mean, it wasn't popularly used by anybody.
Yeah,
but it is a big camp, but it's just beautiful. It's got an open meadow on the side of a friggin' mountain. You know,
you got everything from badass waterfalls all around you, lush grass, to birds that seem exotic that I don't even know what they were. That sometimes even look like parrots and shit. Like, it's some real cool birds come through there. And
owls, turkey, deer, bear, bobcat,
every type of squirrel and chipmunk you could ever see.
Mountain lion.
It's not uncommon to see 200 deer a day there. You could see 5 bears in one day. That wouldn't be unusual. This is a wildlife.
We saw 3 bears on the way into camp, just off of the highway that one time. We saw a black, we saw a cinnamon, and we saw a blonde, all on one drive into the camp. And the blonde was like, you know, that's like a miracle. That's like you know, getting struck by lightning to see a blonde bear up there. But they're there.
Yeah. So I just missed the place. Couldn't wait to get back. Found the time. It was basically at the end of the year. We had to wait because of the fires, and so we're up there. It's cold. We're just getting up there. So to get into there, the kill site itself, it's about a 30-minute drive on a 2-track road, is what I'd call it. A car can make it back there maybe 1 time. It can't make it back there 2 times. It's going to break down. It's you're going to get a flat every time we have anybody up there. It's not a nice road. Nobody wants to do it. So, but I got a big truck. No worries for me, right? I got big tires. So we get in there, and we get about 10 minutes down the dirt road, 15 minutes down the dirt road. I would say we were 4 miles back. I'm flying down this certain part of the road that's actually nicer. And I see a warden, which was very surprising. So he had plenty to say. Don't want to ruffle his feathers, but he was a specific he was a specific individual. And thank you for your service, but chill the fuck out if he ever heard this. So whatever, ruffles some feathers. I'm like, well, that's a 1 in a million thing to see a warden here. I mean, it's just not a populated area. It's unbelievable that I happen to run into somebody back here.
You're like, why would they be sitting laying in wait in this, you know?
Well, they don't go to those private, like, secret hunting hole spots. Like it's not private land, but I mean, like, it's a secret spot that nobody knows about. Like, you have to be really advanced into hunting to even find the spot in the first place. So they're not going to go there because they might see 1 car a day.
Right. It's not worth their time or effort unless they get to a call there.
Yeah. So I see this warden. We had this exchange. It was fair enough. Whatever. Right. Don't want to talk too much about him, but it was fine because I didn't go to jail or whatever, but I wasn't doing anything wrong. So that's how it starts. And I'm just like, oh, that's a coincidence.
It's weird.
Then I go down the road, and I get down about 1 more mile, 2 more miles right before I'm getting to the kill site, and I see a sheriff jump out of a fucking bush literally like jump out of a bush and run in the road, and he's got his like tactical vest and his firearm and his like body camera and his like all his gear on, like he's going to war. And he runs to the road, stop, like don't touch your gun, don't touch anything, like whatever. So he comes and checks us 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 and checks us, because there's lots of things they can check. So he wants to know that we don't have any lead ammo. He wants to know that we're not chambered. He wants to look at our licenses. He wants to look at our ID, see if we're on probation, see if we're whatever. We get through like most of it. And then he keeps trying to grill my little brother that is so disabled. He has no idea what's going on. My brother's scared. And he's like telling him to like, don't touch the gun next to you. And my brother is like, the guy's pointing at the gun. So my brother, the deaf kid that doesn't understand words, trying to grab the gun next to him. And this guy looks like he's about to fucking shoot him. He's grabbing his gun. And I'm like, stop. It's all chaos. Whatever. Nobody got shot. So it's
Thank
absolutely
God.
grilled to fuck. But if you have, this won't be pertinent to too many people, but our fish and game licenses that they give us in California are very large and extensive, and you get lots of paperwork. So these guys had about 70 pages worth of stuff to go into to check. They checked everything they could check. They checked our licenses. They checked whatever. They checked the truck. I don't know what their probable cause was to check the truck or whatever. They certainly didn't ask. Then,
Well, you know, you're Justin Smeja, the Bigfoot killer. They ain't asking you for shit.
So there's 8 sheriffs there total. And again, they have their like machine guns and shit, or AR-15s and tactical gear. All these cameras.
Machine gun, dude. You know better. You know what guns are. That ain't nothing but a damn AR-15.
Yeah,
a fucking squirrel
AR-15.
gun.
Yeah.
Some shoots the same round that your kid just told us that his gun is. So
it's
I'm not really all that worried about a machine gun that shoots.
Oh, I think they should
rounds.
have that, but I don't know why they need to jump in the road with all the.
Oh,
yes,
I agree with you, dude. I mean, there's probable cause, and then there's probable cause, and they didn't have either. So, there's bullshit probable cause, and then there's real probable cause, but they didn't even have the bullshit probable cause, other than the fact that you were off. I don't know how they.
Well, there's like the county sheriff, like Andy, like or whatever. There's a county sheriff from Mayberry, and then
Barney,
there's these guys with their tactical
got one fucking bullet in his damn pocket up here,
So
let me get my bullet, motherfucker. I'm gonna get you. Oh wait, I guess I should have said that this show's not for the children under the age of 13. If you think your parents love you, go ask them. You might be surprised by their answer.
So they got their lots of gear, several SUVs. There's 8 sheriffs there, asking every question they can ask, searching whatever. So I take off from there. Nothing happens, no arrests, no tickets, less than positive interaction. And then I know the area really good. So as soon as I got around the corner, then I took off going 70 miles an hour, which is very difficult on that road. And so I go and get up above where I could see everything. I got up to like where Haskell, where certain places, I don't know if we need to name names, but I got up to a certain place where I knew I could see everything. Then I watched them. They end up coming back and looking, trying to figure out where I am. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, do I need to go present myself to law enforcement? Did they find something? Did they, they're obviously looking for me. I'm just going to stay in this, I'm going to stay in this area and sit there and watch them. My brothers are like, this isn't really what we signed up for, Justin. This is fun, but like, we don't really want to go to jail. We were just hoping for like to shoot some grouse or maybe a bear or something. So we end up hiding for the most part. Seeing them run back and forth, run all around, trying to make sense of it, trying to just, why, I don't know. So we eventually get to the kill site. Then there's some guys there at the kill site, which is strange. I've never seen that. They're sitting there with their guns too. Not law enforcement, just some hillbilly looking types. And I talked to them like,
not that there's anything wrong with that. Now we like our hillbilly.
That's me. No, I was describing. Yeah, I was just describing it.
Yeah, you're describing ourselves. It's okay. Yeah, we prefer Appalachian Americans. Thank you very much.
I was just painting the picture. So these guys, and I'm like, I'm a humble guy. I don't know. It just caught me off guard. I had like a lot going on that day, and so then I'm like, why are you guys at the kill site? What are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to be Bigfooting here. And these guys like, well, who the fuck are you? Like, who are you telling us what to do? And I was like, oh, this didn't go positive. So I just take off from there. I go up to another road and just laid load for the weekend. Saw more sheriffs coming through at fucking 3:00 in the morning. Saw
Which is weird because we've never seen law enforcement out there at night, like ever.
There's just no reason. You could be out there all day and not see anybody. There was like 2 people within 30 miles. And one was the guys at the kill site, whatever they were doing. They weren't a friendly bunch. And then one was us. So we decide we're just going to lay low. We're going to try to head to another spot. So we wait till morning. We get up first thing. It's 15 degrees, by the way, and a 30-mile-an-hour wind. And so we start heading off there. And then we start seeing these clear cuts. Man, they messed up our area. So, well, I'm all about like cutting and whatever. And my politics don't matter. It'd be nice if they cut some trees down now and then in certain areas so we didn't have to watch it all burn, because that's all we see in California is these fires. But so we start heading to our other area, and then we just see clear cut after clear cut after clear cut. Biggest ones I've ever seen. So the forestry did some work up there. I'd prefer that they did it anywhere else besides my honey hole that's so important to me of the kill site, the Bigfoot area. So we've always had this other area that's really close by, which we refer to as Camp B.
We've actually had more sightings in Camp B than we've had experiences in the main camp.
By far. And it is about 13 miles away, which sounds far, but everything up there is far. There's nothing there. So we head over to this other area, and we cannot believe all of the clear cutting that we've seen just in a matter of a couple summers. That I don't want to speculate too much. I don't know if they took out 100,000 trees or 10 million trees, but an area like 1 mile wide by 5 miles deep. So they fuck with our areas a bunch, but whatever. Then we get close to Camp B, and we got a gate right in the middle of the road. I didn't like that. I'm like, okay, we'll head over to like the gold miners area over here. Hit another gate. Oh, well, we'll head over to Kelly's cabin. We hit another gate. These are gates on main roads that have been open for forever. Then the idea that they would put a gate on them, I don't know. It's just bizarre. Maybe they don't want to maintain the roads or something. So there's fucking gates everywhere.
Yeah, but that's like a main forest. That's like a main forest road. That's like a mapped road. I mean, was it after the 15th of October?
This was the 2nd of October. Well, it was the well, I don't know. It was the 10th of October.
Might want to go back in the spring and see if those gates are reopened or not.
Well, yeah. I do get that, but these are gates that were never there in the first place.
Right, I understand that, but
you know, they do close those to keep everybody from getting stuck.
Right. Yeah, and we know that on that particular road, it is quite treacherous at times, especially in the spring during the melt.
Yeah, and the law enforcement or whatever, whoever, they can't spend all their time pulling people out. I do understand closing some roads to idiots that want to go four-wheeling and get stuck. In an area like that, it's very dangerous because you could have some snow come in. So meanwhile, I even got stuck in the snow, which, you know, that's finally got some rain up there. That was good. So we got all these, not just gates, but we got these berms set up. They're called usually water bars, but once they make them so big a truck can't go over them, they're a berm. And you can't get past them. They got all this stuff blocking all our areas. So I'm like, all right, well, over by the big tower, over by this peak, that's got to be open because that's a big tourist spot. So we go over there, find a mature bear immediately. The very first morning, we find a mature bear, really nice
big
looking,
boar.
very good color, gorgeous bear. And we decided to take that one. So we harvest that bear.
That's tonight's thumbnail.
It's a great looking bear. It was a good part of its life to take it. That you know, you want to take out some of those bigger ones because, you know, they eat the cud. Whatever. We're there to get meat. And I know people have weird feelings about killing stuff with paws, and you could have emotions about whatever. The more bears you kill, the more bears there are. That's a matter of fact.
Well, that and deer. If you like little tiny spotted baby deer, then the more dead boar bears you see, the more little tiny deer are going to exist because they'll eat 7, 8 in a day.
Well,
when they're feeding.
Not just that, but those big male bears tend to eat cubs.
Yeah, anybody
often.
else's cubs but his.
Well, yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, there's different theories about it between them, like going back into trying to get the mom to go back into heat so that he can fuck her again, or he's trying to kill everybody else's bears but his own. I don't know. I can tell you that like places where you shoot lots of bears, there actually ends up being more bears, like Maine.
And those
Maine, for
guys up
example.
there were looking to hibernate. That was their last hurrah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so up there, so basically, if you shoot bears, there's more bears. I was just talking to a handful of people that get emotional, saying, "Bear meat's great. I love bears. I want there to be more bears, and I care about the species a lot. I'm not just some guy that wants to kill
No part of
animals for
that
fun."
bear will go to waste. Not a single bit of it will go to waste.
Right, and I care about the species a lot, and I value them. I think they're majestic, beautiful animals. And the more that you shoot them, the more that there is, and people have a really hard time with that concept. But anyways, can't worry about offending anybody. I'm just saying the people that want to worry about killing things with paws.
We don't have a big bleeding heart audience here, pal. We got a lot of hardened people that are down with the clown, man.
Yeah, I guess you're not really soft around the edges.
No, I'm
you
not.
probably-
I'm not one of them shiny, happy people holding hands kind of guy. No, I like to take it out and dangle it in your face.
Yeah.
It's about the truth. It's about the facts. It's about, I want everything to be real. I really do. I want every single thing in Bigfoot to be real. But unfortunately, when you turn an actual, a knowledge to eye at things, most of it falls apart. There's still people that believe that Todd Standing's bullshit is real.
Well, I'm sure you've never offended anybody.
Oh, me?
I get what you say. Yeah.
Dude,
So,
there are people in Willow Creek that are going to be like shutting up their businesses and like going on vacation when we go in there next year. You know that, right?
Right.
Just so that the Reverend doesn't darken their doorstep.
Just felt the need to say that I love animals. I'm surrounded by them. We got fucking chickens. So anyways, we harvest this bear, and we decided that we're just going to get out of there. So we leave. Then as soon as we're leaving, we just see sheriff after sheriff. And we're on the highway now, so I'm sitting there thinking they won't pull us over. One of them follows us all the way to Sierraville, fucking 40 minutes. Follows us there. I pull over twice, and then all he did is drive down the road a mile and pull over. So I felt like I was
for you to pass and then pulled in behind you again.
Yeah. Well, he went past. Yeah, he went past me and just pulled in on the next one.
We know that there aren't any cartel grows up there. I mean, we've been across that with 4x4s, with quads and shit so much. It's too high. There's no water. There's no, they don't have no grows, no huge grows going on.
This is at 7,000 feet. You can't grow that many plants. You can't grow plants that weren't already there.
There's no oxygen to friggin' grow the damn things. I mean, the alpine barely grows. I mean, you're literally like right at the tree line. We've been on the quads up past the tree line in that area.
Well, so I felt as if I got escorted out. We had 3 bear tags, I think. And we were just like, we're thankful, grateful for this one. Let's go and process it.
Did you take it down and have its tooth pulled?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. We took it to Fish and Game, presented to Fish and Game. They pull a tooth called like a molar, a little tiny tooth. They take that out and then they they send it through some sort of scientific thing. And they tell you how old it is and how healthy it was. So I'll get a letter in a couple years, or usually it's about 18 months. And then they'll tell us something about that bear, usually just its age and whether they thought it was like a healthy bear or not. So we take it to Fish and Game and they're presenting it, do all that. Everything's filled out legally, whatever. I felt like we were escorted out of the area. And then now all said and done. So the trip, a lot of fucking clear cutting, a lot of new gates, law enforcement that I don't want to tell you that, wow, I'm so popular that these people were there and I told a couple people. I am not saying that.
No. This was not they couldn't have spent that kind of resource money and not arrested somebody.
Well, that's what happened when they came to my house. They just spent too much fucking money and
they had to charge you with something because
absolutely had to. There was just no getting around it when you got 40 law enforcement officers. You got all these cameras, you got all this shit going on. So,
well, you did the best thing you could do. You kept your mouth shut. You let them do their thing, and then you went in front of a judge who got it all cleaned up.
Exactly.
I
understand law enforcement overcharges and then whatever.
I mean, they wanted to put you in actual prison. It's like they don't put actual criminals in prison anymore. Like they wanted to actually make you go to jail and like have you hang out away from your family for 30 days as if your finances could somehow support that. I mean, crazy.
Well, when I got transferred from solitary confinement to the general population, which is weird when it's weird that it could be that quick. When I got transferred there, then I was with a murderer as my cellmate. And I was just like, this is not real. I kept telling people, so they're like putting me in there. They're asking me if I'm in a gang, what tattoos I have, whatever. I keep telling them I'm innocent, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is a mistake. And they're like, please shut up. Everybody fucking says that. That's not interesting. And I was like, no, really. Like, so this is about a Bigfoot thing. And they're like, oh my God, stop talking. Like, so then I was just like, okay, well, you can't win. Everybody goes to jail and says they're innocent, I guess. So,
well, of course, there's no guilty people in jail. Don't you know that? Everybody's innocent.
So I can't say why the law enforcement was there or why they had such high interest in me or why they are focusing on the site or why there's so much clear cutting or why there's so many gates or why there's so much blocked access, why there's so many berms. I can't say. It's just one of those things. So was there any Bigfoot activity? Fucking nothing. No. Nothing, no.
After all the clear cutting they've been doing up there all summer. No, of course not. I mean, do you think the Sasquatch don't like to fuck with the cows? Like, we know when the cows move in that the Sasquatch move out. And when the cows aren't in camp, the Sasquatch will move down. They don't want to be around the cows. You think they want to be around 1,000 friggin' saws? They had to have had 100 people up there cutting. Big machines.
Oh, yeah, and tons of it. Hundreds of that, yes. And I'm not even saying it's all bad. I mean, we got the bark beetle. We got these diseases, different sicknesses the trees get. And they're doing what they can, and they're probably doing the right things. I just wish they did it somewhere else and left my area alone, but maybe they don't put Sasquatch hot spots as a priority. So, well, or maybe they do.
Everybody's like, oh, well, the government's hiding Bigfoot from us. They know all about Bigfoot. They've known for years and years. No. They just ignore Bigfoot so that they can do shit like this. Because if they knew about Bigfoot and then it got out and they did shit like this to the Bigfoot territory, oh, Jesus, God, the hippies would crucify him on a cross with friggin' thorns. I mean, it'd be crazy what people would do to him if they found out that they knew that Sasquatch were in these areas and then they clear cut them anyhow. You know, I wouldn't mind the gates going up and the fencing going up and the berms going up if we knew that they were doing it to protect those animals from us. Because I've always said they're better off without us. Like. They're absolutely better off without us.
Government cover up, but
it actually, you know, we're not saying that that's what's going on, but if one were to be a conspiracy theorist, what other reason would there be to berm off, gate off roads that have been in existence for 100 years that are the main roads that go through this area? I mean, to get to that whole side of the mountain, there's one road. And that's the road that they've now got all, gated off and fenced. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'd start carrying a 5-pound sledgehammer and a cold chisel in my truck, because you're going to go up one of these things one of these times, and then you're going to turn around and come back down, and that some bitch is going to be locked, and then what the hell are you going to do? You know,
I'm not suggesting all these things are cover up something Bigfoot related. I'm suggesting at least one or two of them is, and you can pick whichever one.
It's just very strange.
So the idea of those law enforcement. The idea of those law enforcement sitting there, like, they might only see one person a day on this road. So then you have that many.
We have been up there for a week at a time and seen nobody but the people that we came there with. And I'm talking about like in the height of the summer, like, the middle of August, when the lower campgrounds right off of the highway on the other side of the mountain are full to the gills. There is no room. There is no spaces. All the friggin' camps are full to the gills down there. We're across the mountain on a different side of a different mountain, and you don't see a soul. Not even like quad riders, like not even ATV people, not 4x4 people. You don't see nobody but the rancher, the cow rancher. We'll run into him.
Well, even the cow rancher the last 2 years was told that he shouldn't bring his cows up because there's too many fires or something. So he wasn't even able to graze his cows up there. And he's always like my eyes and ears. And he's telling me, like, hey, like this is going on. I talked to the sheep herder, this is going on. Like, and he hasn't been up there for 2 years because they told him that the smoke's not good for the cows or something. I don't know.
Well,
It ought to be his own risk.
Right. I mean, and the government agencies
The
up
cows
there
will walk
doing
away
their
from the
clear cutting
fire.
and shit.
They'll definitely walk away with the fire starts.
That is a fact. Cows,
So-
the cows do tend to avoid fire. They don't want to cook themselves.
Yeah.
They don't like
So
becoming steak.
even the
It's not one of their
ranchers kicked out of that
their
area.
ambitions in life.
Yeah. So for now, the kill site got pounded with human activity from a number of things, mostly clear cutting. Is what it is. No activity whatsoever.
However, all it does is
I
just
love the
push them
place.
to. It just pushes them to a different side of that mountain. I mean, they're not going anywhere.
Right.
That's their.
But it's hard to get there now
That's their.
because we got more roads.
Right. Well, for them, it's a good thing. It'll keep us the hell away from them more. They'll have more areas that humans can't actually access. I guess we'll have to start taking drones up there with us and start running drones.
Yeah, they're improving the Sasquatch environment, no doubt.
We'll have to pick up some drones for the coming season, and we'll have to start running some drones up there. Maybe we can get some that'll just run on GPS coordinates, and we can walk it out, and then the things can just run it out and do a grid. There's a whole bunch of ideas I have for running drones up there that maybe we don't have to get into these areas and we'll still catch something. They're noisy, but at night I don't know that they would be all that noticed. They might be a curious thing. I don't know.
I
got some ideas to talk about.
Currently, I'll assume it's mine.
Yeah, no, it is. And you know what? We're gonna go ahead and get this wrapped up for the night because it's already time to do that. I want to thank everybody who showed up tonight live in the chat room. Let's go ahead and give some shout outs here real quick before we go. The Scottish Wildman showed up tonight.
Yeah, but got any questions or anything like that? I'm just trying to share my story of the update.
Well, there are some questions here. We'll
people can jump to whatever conclusion. I don't know either, and I wasn't really suggesting. It was interesting.
Ken the Viking, he's in the house with us tonight, as well as Shane Barber. Hello, Shane. And the Reverend Tim McCune. Hello, Tim. And Grasshopper et al. Is here as well. And the Duncans, Aaron and Mary, the grooviest people I know from Oregon. Let's see here. Punt down here a little bit. That asshole Jeffrey Kelly shows up every single week. I don't know why. The Reverend Rod Dupree. Hello, Reverend Rod. Glad you are with us tonight, sir. Karen Robb. Hello, Karen. And the Brown Dwarf is with us again this week. Hello there, Glenn. Glad to see you, buddy. Lance Windsor, the Canadian great. I'm glad you're with us as well. Bigfoot Society's in the house. Hello there, sir. Good evening back, or madam. I don't really know which. I probably should, but marijuana affects the short-term memory. I promise you it does. Western Bigfoot Exploration. Hello there, Jonathan. Glad you're joining us tonight too, buddy. We got to get you on here and talk about your documentary.
Did I not bring this up twice this week? I said, Jeff, you got to get John on.
I will. Yeah. He was thinking we should do it all together, but as you can see, it would have been that we wouldn't have been able to get through everything.
Just letting him know I was thinking about him. I haven't even talked to him
for sure.
Years, but
Villa Allegria. Hello there, young lady.
Cool guy.
Glad you are with us as well. There's our buddy Tommy, Boston. Hello, Tommy. Glad you're with us tonight, there, pal. There's the Easton buddy. He's back with us. Let's see here. I know Frank G is in the house. Kevin K is in the house. Let's see here. There were some questions. The Duncans thing said that you were being hunted for months in their investigation. It's absolutely crazy. Karen Robb asked, let's see here. What did your wife do when all that was happening?
When I was getting arrested, I'm guessing it was the form of that question.
Yes, correct.
She pulled into the house, and she pulled into the neighbor's driveway and walked straight in the neighbor's house and pretended she wasn't anybody and sat there and watched it from the neighbor's window. Scared to death, totally concerned, had no idea what was going on. So that's the smartest thing she could have done. She pulled in, saw cops everywhere, saw me in the back of my truck. They put me in the back of my truck and handcuffed me. So the neighbors, everybody's watching. She just pulled into the neighbor's house, walked in with the kids, and they all sat there and watched from the window. Luckily, they weren't tortured or too much by it or whatever. Well, it was traumatic for my kids.
Yeah,
But,
it's absolutely crazy.
whatever.
They're taking daddy away. Mr. Fang, 3. What's going on, Joe? Glad you're with us tonight too. Let's see here. Jonathan was talking about a big yellow bird that we've seen up there in the Sierras. You know, it's like something that comes out of the Amazon. I'm not sure what they are, but they're like this big. And they're big and they're bright and they're yellow. It's absolutely crazy. If I didn't say hi to Titan Glass, I'm gonna say hello, Titan Glass 88. Tate Hieronymus. Hello there, Tate. Glad you are with us as
Love
well.
you. Love you, Jeff.
Love you too, buddy. I'll see you soon. We're
Love
gonna
you,
hang out and do something. I love you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye, buddy. And let's see here. I know there was another couple in here. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. That was not my intention. Joseph Winnie. Hello there, Joseph Winnie. Checking in a little bit late as well. So yeah, I'm, the Jonathan says he's down. He misses you, Justin.
Right on.
Let's see here. I was looking to make sure I didn't miss any questions, but I probably have. Let's see here. Okay, as long as you eat the kill or donate it to somebody in need, it is. You're helping the growth of the species, and that's exactly what happens when you kill big, ugly boar bears. Just kill the shit out of them. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank everybody for being out there tonight. No, we're not going to have time for a Bigfoot campfire story this week. I'll bring one again back next week. And Jonathan, get a hold of me, buddy, so I know when we can schedule to have you on the show. And I want to thank everybody for being here. For Justin, I say thank you, buddy, for being here. Everybody, we'll see you next week. May the Squatch be with you.
Thanks for listening, guys. See you after a while.